Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the time, although I don't necessarily appreciate the subject matter. Second time in 30 days, we're holding a full committee hearing ostensibly on whether Planned Parenthood has violated any laws. As Ranking Member Conyers and many others, including Chairman Jason Chaffetz of the Oversight and Government Reform Committee, have made clear, there is no credible evidence supporting any allegation that Planned Parenthood has broken any law. Ironic that we do this on a day that we honor Don Edwards, who did so much with the Constitution and Civil Justice Committee, who passed so many laws to protect people's civil rights and to move this country forward. And to this date, when the committee does very little. Knowing that there's no ground to stand on regarding the legality of Planned Parenthood's actions, it's obvious the majority has chosen instead to move the goalposts. I suspect this hearing, like our last one, will ultimately dissolve into the never-ending argument over whether the Supreme Court rightly decided Roe v. Wade, which for more than 42 years has guaranteed a woman's constitutional right to choose. It is the law of the land. There's no such thing as murder. Murder is unlawful. This is lawful, a woman's choice, and within a certain period of time. We're not likely to hear anything and learn anything new, but we'll hear the same arguments. But one thing we will see is we will get a little bit something new. Most of my Democratic colleagues and I strongly believe in a woman's right to choose, and that that's a fundamental right. It's a pillar of women's equality, and the Court got it right in Roe v. Wade. And I suspect most of my colleagues on the other side of the aisle believe the opposite. Different values, different backgrounds they have than I have. The Court agrees with me. I also suspect they disagree with me and most of my Democratic colleagues who strongly believe in Planned Parenthood and the 97% of its work that is not abortion, critical health care services, including health screenings, birth control counseling, particularly cancer, women's cancer. These services are especially important for women of low income and minority women, for whom Planned Parenthood receives Medicaid reimbursements that constitute most of its federal funding. Medicaid reimbursement for treating, observing, testing women for cancers and giving them birth control and advice. In fact, it's against the law to use federal funding because of the Hyde Amendment. So none of that exists. So we're likely to have an unfocused, scattershot, and ultimately pointless discussion over whether the constitutional right of women to make decisions about their bodies is a good or a bad thing, a question the Supreme Court clearly answered in 1973, but here we are today. We could be talking about voting rights, something that Don Edwards voted for and greatly supported, and my friend Julian Bond memorialized on Tuesday championed, but have taken a big step back. We could be talking about gun violence, people dying in Oregon, people dying all around this country, but we're not doing that. We could be talking about pardons and commutations for nonviolent offenders, and thankfully the White House is taking action, and this committee will do some more action on that with a comprehensive bill, and I thank the chairman for his working with our ranking member on that. But we're not. Let us not forget this entire exercise is based on heavily edited videos doctored to make Planned Parenthood to be engaged in unlawful conduct, which it isn't, including the for-profit sales of fetal organs and tissues. At this point, I ask unanimous consent to play a compilation prepared by Oversight and Government Reform Committee Democrats of the portion of the unedited video of Dr. Deborah Nucatalo, portions that we do not see in the edited video, in which she makes clear that Planned Parenthood does not sell tissue or organs for profit, and to enter that video into the record.
Without objection, the video will be shown and made a part of the record.
Thank you. And if we could start playing it at 30 seconds and end it at 1:55. I guess we're going to start at the beginning.
To them, this is not a service they should be making money for. No one's going to see this as a money-making thing. We're not looking to make money with this. Our goal is to keep access available. We just want that to be reasonable for the impact it has on the clinicians. This is not something, this is not any revenue stream that affiliates are looking at. This is a way to offer patients a service.
And stop picking on women and trying to take their choice away. I yield back the balance of my time.
The time of the gentleman has expired. We welcome our distinguished witnesses today, and if you'd all please rise, I'll begin by swearing you in. Do you and each of you swear that the testimony that you are about to give shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Thank you. Witnesses may be seated, and let the record reflect that they all responded in the affirmative. And I'll now begin by introducing today's witnesses. The first witness is Dr. Anthony Levatino. Dr. Levatino is a board-certified obstetrician gynecologist. Over the course of his career, Dr. Levatino has practiced obstetrics and gynecology in both private and university settings, including as an associate professor of OB/GYN at the Albany Medical College. Our next witness is Ms. Susan Thayer. Ms. Thayer worked for nearly 18 years as the center manager of the Planned Parenthood Clinic in Storm Lake, Iowa. She was fired in December 2008 when she expressed concerns about webcam abortions. She has since become a strong voice for life and educates the public about abortion and specifically webcam abortions. Our next witness is Ms. Caroline Fredrickson. Ms. Fredrickson is president of the American Constitution Society. She has been widely published on a range of legal and constitutional issues and is a frequent guest on television and radio shows. Before joining American Constitution Society, Caroline served as the director of the ACLU's Washington Legislative Office and as general counsel and legal director of NARAL Pro-Choice America. Our final witness is Ms. Luana Stoltenberg. Ms. Stoltenberg is a public speaker for Operation Outcry, a ministry that seeks to